Hello again. Our main match this afternoon is a splendid advert for North West football between our two most famous clubs, Liverpool and Manchester United.
It's Albiston. And Grobbler.
Yes, and a great match to look forward to, and it really is quality all the way this afternoon, with our second match featuring Ipswich, who this week won the European Team of the Year award. Ipswich are at home to Arsenal. But let's start at Anfield for a fixture with great traditions, Liverpool against Manchester United. Your commentator is Martin Tyler.
Bob Paisley names the same Liverpool side that drew against AZ 67 in Amsterdam. Mark Lawrenson retains the left-back position, even though Alan Kennedy is now fit enough to play in the reserves. But it's as a unit that Liverpool's defence is under scrutiny. Losing 2-goal leads in successive games represents a sharp fall by their own high standards. Phil Neal, one of the back four, has been singled out by Manchester United for special attention today. Ron Atkinson feels that much of Liverpool's attacking play is stimulated by Neal's forward runs. So Steve Coppell has been given extra duties to try to restrict Neal. Kevin Moran has recovered from the calf strain that kept him out of the win over Middlesbrough on Wednesday, and he returns to a United defence whose record is in sharp contrast to Liverpool's. Just one goal conceded in their last 8 First Division games. Injuries still keep Sammy McIlroy and Lou Macari out of contention, but raring to go is John Gidman, who was rejected by Liverpool after signing here as an apprentice. Manchester United kick off. United 7 places above Liverpool in the First Division, but Liverpool with 2 games in hand and unbeaten this season here at Anfield. United in their change strip of white shirts and black shorts, attacking the top end in the first half. With Frank Stapleton, and here's Ray Wilkins, and it's Gary Birtles at the near post. So a positive start from the visiting side. And the man in charge today, George Courtney, refereeing his first game back in the Football League after being in Australia for the World Youth Championships. Moran. Now Souness. Lee always likely to lose the aerial contests. It's Martin Buchan who got above him then. Hansen and United again pressuring well through Birtles. Birtles and Stapleton doing their share of unselfish graft in the team cause. And Kevin Moran is flat out and then going for that header. Mike Duxbury deputised for Moran in midweek, although more by instinct he's a midfield player, but has filled in well at the back. David Johnson just pointing to his left arm and indicating to Moran that that was really where the damage came from. Oh, could bounce for Gidman. Kennedy's cross, and it's Phil Neal who's arriving and brought it down with his hand. But the interesting thing was that Steve Coppell had run back with Neal. As the cross comes in from Kennedy, Coppell there doing his marking, and Neal having to use the hand, and he wasn't going to get away with that. Stapleton, and here's Robson, who misses. A clear opportunity, and the anguish shows on his face. A delightful touch from Stapleton created the chance. And clean in against Grobbler. He couldn't hit the target, Brian Robson. Still looking for his first goal for his new club. Push on Johnson. High Buchan. So a genuine let-off for Liverpool. And they might strike back here with Kennedy. Pushed out by Kennedy, and Johnson couldn't collect. Birtles. And it goes out off McDermott. But Ray Kennedy, with the presence of mind to pull the ball down after it had cleared Gidman there, hitting the shot with great power, and that power that came off Bailey was enough to defeat Johnson's attempt to turn it in. Birtles away from Thompson, finding McDermott. Souness caught by Koppel. This is Wilkins. But United again able to win possession deep into Liverpool territory. Off Souness this time, and it fell for Wilkins. Lawrence. Now Thompson can go forward. Ruffin in quickly in front of Lee. Here's Moses, and Birtles is onside. Thompson's got to scurry back. And the trailing foot brings Birtles down, says Mr. Courtney. The decision not appreciated by the spectators. But Thompson was late in trying to retrieve the situation. In from Robson, and that's Stapleton, and that's Moran. And United go in front. The goal from Kevin Moran. As Robson curled the ball in, a delightful header from Stapleton. Robillard may feel he should have turned it round the post. It came straight out for Moran. So after 25 minutes, Manchester United get a goal that isn't against the run of the play. Here's Wilkins. Birtles. Thompson slipping, and it's let in Koppel. Liverpool looking uneasy again at the back. Here's Neil. And McDermott darting in behind them again. Really the trademark of Terry McDermott. The first time he's accomplished one of these runs to any real end product in this game. Here's Souness, struck it cleanly in. Manchester United survived courtesy of the post. Came down for Souness, and Bailey beaten. Orbiston. Stapleton holding off Hansen. Now Koppel. It's Moses going in against Grobler. Breaks for Wilkins. And it was wide anyway. And it would have been disappointment for Ray Wilkins because the linesman was flagging. But Liverpool not showing authoritative play in the air again. And it was Moses who was offside as Wilkins drove it back. Dermott has Dalglish ahead of him, and Souness going through the middle. And the two combine. This is Dalglish. And Gidman turns it to safety. First real flow from Liverpool. Thompson and Lawrenson on the near post. And Bailey wonders with the visibility for the goalkeeper. It really is a gloomy afternoon and no sign yet of the floodlights being put on. Now, is it Bailey who's penalised or Dalglish? It's a free kick to Liverpool for steps by Gary Bailey, who feels he was being nudged unfairly by Dalglish. Bailey clearly taking too many steps. It's an indirect free kick, and a chance perhaps for Liverpool to pull this goal back before half-time. Plotting being done by Kennedy and Souness, with Lee there as well. Liverpool showing he who hesitates is lost, and the charge forward by United with Wilkins. Moran is up there, so too is Robson. Grobbelaar's committed. Orbiston and Birtles didn't have the legs to turn it in. A remarkable series of events which leaves Grobbelaar shaking his head. Charging out there, but not claiming it. Orbiston taking charge of the situation, but the cross shot was too far ahead of Birtles. Morrison this time picks out Thompson. So a first half that has given us an indication that Manchester United have done their homework well on Liverpool. So Liverpool starting the second half, charged with the task now of breaking down the discipline of Manchester United. I'll notice towards the end of the first half that Liverpool were hitting more long balls forward and vary their style. Birtles. Moran. It's Birtles trying to get behind Hansen. Limping out of that tussle, holding the left ankle, and he's got his free kick. Maybe from a set play, Liverpool can make an opening. They haven't really created in the free run of the game. Signals coming from Neil. And the free kick from McDermott. Put behind by Buchan. Liverpool again have Lawrenson darting off the near post. And United have Bailey coming off his line, and he very nearly slithered out. Crucial moments were away from the ball then, with Dalglish and Moran disputing the issue. Bailey's momentum almost carried him out of the area, but Mr. Courtney checked and waved play on. David Johnson is the player coming off to allow the Republic of Ireland international, Ronnie Whelan, to come on. Thompson. Whelan's first touch, and his second. Sets away McDermott. Dalglish, and Gidman shows the aplomb to let it run behind. Whelan almost setting up an equaliser with his first contribution. McDermott's cross was deflected. Dalglish seemed to be pushing into the back of Moran, but it fell safely for Gidman. Here's Birtles. Birtles still full of running, and Stapleton looking to convert the cross, so too was Moses. Here's Gidman. Blocked by Kennedy, but only as far as Wilkins. Now Koppel. Moses. There's Orbiston. And Grobbelaar. Superb handling. Not quite sure if it was going to get inside Grobbelaar's near post, but he couldn't be sure. Lawrenson puts Dalglish in here. Whelan's in the middle. Dalglish goes his own way. It's into the side netting, and Liverpool don't even get a corner, although Bailey made the save. But it was a superb ball from Mark Lawrenson that freed Dalglish here. Whelan was in the middle, and may well have run offside. Birtles helped out by Orbiston. Again, United showing ambition when they break forward. Orbiston. Birtles is at the near post. Here he is. And Neil gets there first. Now McDermott. Dalglish. Whelan might get behind Moran. And Mr. Courtney has given the penalty. And Kevin Moran, the player penalised, will surely feel that it wasn't harsh, it was certainly unnecessary, but there was a push in the back as the ball was running behind. So the player who scored the goal for Manchester United presents Liverpool with a chance of the equaliser. Gary Bailey has a fine record in saving penalties in the First Division. And now he faces Terry McDermott, who blasts it past him. No nonsense about this technique. Quarter of an hour remaining, and the prospect now of some finale. Stapleton. Here's Robson. United stung into retaliation. Gidman. Birtles. And Moses. Will it come for Koppel? And it deflects away off Alan Hansen. A tribute to the ambition of Manchester United that they were straight away back onto the attack. And Koppel must have felt that that one was in. That's Moran. Dalglish tangling. Play on, says Mr. Courtney. Goodman getting back. Wilkins, and Birtles is onside and could settle it here. Gary Birtles defied by Grobbelaar. With 2 minutes left, Grobbelaar to Liverpool's rescue. Stapleton. Now Koppel. Ricochet was stopped by Hansen and then out from Souness. But Gary Birtles with a clear run here. But Grobbelaar committing himself, keeping his shape and then getting down to his right. The kick from Grobbelaar going straight to Wilkins. It could have been worse for Liverpool. It just squirted past Stapleton on the edge of the area. Stapleton. And this is Wilkins. And Stapleton couldn't make it. Forward from Robson. Now Augustin. Played through by Stapleton. Here's Augustin, who rolls it past Grobbelaar. And Manchester United get a goal that, if it is the winner, and it looks now as though it will be, is deserved for the way they've ridden the penalty against them and come back at Liverpool. And they produce some superb football here with Augustin and Stapleton. And Arthur Augustin keeping his balance sufficiently to get it into the corner. So Liverpool, for the third time in a week, are punished in the final moments of a game. Fine control from Robson. Here's Stapleton. Injury time. Koppel's cross. Stapleton almost in for a third. Here's Wilkins. Now Whelan. Is there any life left in Liverpool now? Do they have any time? McDermott. Lawrenson. A touch from Neil. Robson should get it to safety and allows it to run behind for the goal kick. The anxiety on the face of Joe Fagan standing the back of the dugout. But it's gone for Liverpool. Arthur Augustin, whose goals are real collector's items, only his second in the First Division for Manchester United. 2 minutes from the end. But for Liverpool, it's a week in which they've dropped below the consistency we've come to expect from the European champions. A final scoreline, Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2.
Undoubtedly one of the classic battles in the First Division this season, and a great tribute to Manchester United's determination in coming back so strongly there at the end. Well, afterwards their manager Ron Atkinson spoke about the tactics that won the match.
Well, I think most teams come to Anfield, and what they do, they pack their midfield with 4 players. generally asks the two strikers to run all over the pitch, trying to cover the whole of the Liverpool back four, who, are, as you know, are very, very good at playing possession football. They knock it about. They've had years in Europe of doing that. And I felt that our best chance possibly lay in pushing somebody like Stevie Coppell, switching him as a permanent left winger today, pushing him to play right tight on Philip Neal. And, you know, my instructions to Stevie before the game was to work him till he couldn't stand up, because I think Phil Neal opens up a lot of things for Liverpool. You know, I think he's a good passer of a ball, and particularly when he's given time and space, and he hits good forward balls into Dalglish and people like that. And I felt if we could cut him off and perhaps work him very, very hard, and perhaps maybe pressure, that would leave Frank Stapleton and Gary Birtles to pressurise the other members of the back four. That would give us a good chance to stop their supply coming off. And not only did we stop that, we won an awful lot of good possession ourselves, and we're straight in to strike at them.
Well, nobody's saying that Liverpool have become a bad side, but it's obvious that they do have problems at the back. I feel the main reason is the difficulty that defenders are having in forging an understanding with new goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar's style is more spectacular than his predecessor Ray Clements, particularly the way he comes flying off his line. Now just watch as this cross comes over. He rushes out and knocks his captain Phil Thompson to the ground and going for a punch. He doesn't connect properly, and Ray Wilkins nearly scores. Again, as United knock the ball through to Brian Robson, Phil Neal is in a position to clear. But Grobbelaar comes racing out to the edge of his area, causing confusion. And again it breaks to Wilkins, who, seeing that the goalkeeper's off, lobs, but his attempted lob drops wide. Probably should have scored. But Grobbelaar's a goalkeeper who goes for everything. Following that free kick, he tries to get both hands to this Frank Stapleton header, when he probably would have been better to try and push it away. He can't reach it, and in comes Kevin Moran to score from the rebound. But there's no doubt about his agility. A great leap here to hold Arthur Alberson's drive. So Grobbelaar and his defenders still have work to do before they can form a tight unit. He can be a very fine keeper indeed if he takes Bob Paisley's advice and calms down a wee bit.
Thanks, Dennis. Well, before yesterday's match, the United manager Ron Atkinson said that one of three teams would win the championship: United, Liverpool or Ipswich. Well, having seen the first two, we can see now if Ipswich managed to recover from last week's disappointing result at Everton. Their opponents yesterday were Arsenal. Anglia Television provide the pictures, and the commentator at Portman Road is Jerry Harrison.
On the face of it, the facts say Ipswich are unbeaten at home and well within reach of the top of the table. But by their own admission, they haven't been playing too well lately. 15% below their best, they reckon. After last week's defeat at Everton, Bobby Robson has called for a fighting performance here to correct the balance. Not easy, because they're still without Alan Brazil, and Kevin O'Callaghan is now unfit. Arsenal's problems go deeper. They're short of players despite repeated desperate attempts to sign new ones. But players like Liam Brady and Frank Stapleton aren't easy to replace. They're very short of goals, only 6 in 10 league games, but they do have a very good defensive record, and recently have done well against Ipswich. So the referee here is Cliff Maskell from Cambridge. Both the other officials are from this part of the world. Peter North from Braintree, Vic Roper from Norfolk, and it's Arsenal in the darker shorts to kick off. 9 goals in 14 first-team games against a reshuffled Ipswich side who were 4th in the table, just 2 points behind Swansea at the top. A lot of players going to be in midfield here, and a good battle in that part of the field before we start getting any chances, I'm sure. And a foul there on Butcher, so a free kick to Ipswich, and he'll get up into a striking position. Which is right over the far side of the penalty areas. McCall and Muren work it this side. Walker's getting in there, but this is for Butcher to leap. And there's Gates. Appeals that it had gone over, but the referee says play on, it hadn't. The linesman was right in position to see whether it had crossed the line. He said it hadn't. Vic Roper, and the referee backs him. But it was a lovely head back by Butcher. Gates should have buried that, really. It scuffs off the chest of the goalkeeper, but impossible to tell from here. And it's Paul Davies who picks up with Sansom on his left. Mead. hit the referee. Ricks picks it up quickly. Ricks on the run through, good run. And a foul by Russell Osman on Ricks. Protest from Osman, but waved away by Cliff Maskell for a free kick for Arsenal from an inviting position, particularly with the players like Ricks and Brian Talbot and even Hollins, who's square of those two. And here's Hollins now, the drive one. Oh, it's a good effort. That's a thunderbolt from John Hollins, but straight into the arms of Paul Cooper. Well, if that had had a bit of a bend on it, that might have been trouble for Cooper, but certainly a hot potato there. Arnold Muir, so many players in midfield. Control's got to be absolutely precise, and passing too. McCall gets his way out of that one, although Nicholas fouls him and concedes a free kick. And Arsenal get everyone back except Raphael Mead. Butcher and Osman getting up there over the far side. Osman coming in on a near run, but there's space here for Mills as Arsenal push out. Back wide to Murin, nicely hit. Murin here. Up goes Mariner. Tyson battling for that. Mariner again. Away by Willie Young. Talbot can't get it. And Tyson hits it. Oh, it deflected off the post. Tyson denied there, but the job for Jennings made a lot harder by that deflection by a defender. The ball bouncing here to Tyson as Talbot and Mariner battled for it. A shot, the deflection. Jennings was really beaten. And McCall is caught by Nicholas. Oh, what a challenge on Butcher. Butcher is hurt, and I'm not surprised. Nicholas carried through on that one. And here's Arsenal coming forward with Butcher still down. Ricks. And Mariner breaking past the prostrate figure of Butcher, who's now gingerly getting to his feet. Well, what do you think of this challenge as the ball breaks and Nicholas goes in? It's a 50-50 ball, which Butcher gets, and that is a high challenge. There's Arnold Murin looking for Butcher to go forward. Here he goes. Gates is getting away from him as Raphael Mead just challenges. Butcher still goes. Doesn't know who to give it to. Butcher gets it wide to Mills. It's a good ball in the end. And Mills does a great job. And Mariner whacks it in. That was a mistake there by Sansom. Mariner saluting the crowd. He accepts an easy chance, which really should never have come his way. And the breakthrough for Ipswich. Well, Butcher was in the middle of that, and Mills too coming from nowhere. Now this is a cross which Sansom should have got away, but he doesn't. He gives it straight to Mariner, who says, I'll have that one. 1-0. And Paul Mariner, the player who's worked very effectively in the build-up, has accepted a gift opportunity there. And Mead is on his own for the moment, unless he can get a bit of support. As we go into injury time, Mead, good effort. Well, do you say he did well, or do you give marks to Mick Mills, who drove him wide enough to make the whole target difficult? But in fact, Mead was just oars ahead of Mills, but the angle wasn't good for him. As for Terry Butcher, the result of that tackle by Peter Nicholas in the first half is evident for everyone to see. Forward for Willie Young. Nicholas has gone forward into that hole. Willie Young having a go at Gates again, and Gates falls flat, and out comes the referee's notebook. Willie Young shakes his head in disbelief. Well, I don't know. It's always hard for a big fellow tackling a little one. But that was the second fairly heavy challenge he'd had. And the referee didn't like that one. Gates will get himself to the edge of the area for the free kick taken by Mills. Short one to Steggles. Tyson is on his right touchline. In for Gates. Looking to get him to try and turn, get into the area perhaps for this one. Here's Mills going forward. And Mills has got it! What an extraordinary goal. Unlucky for Pat Jennings, he couldn't possibly have expected that. Mills gets his name on the score sheet. Well, a good run, it deserves something, but it had a little bit of luck as it bounced off his stomach. Pat Jennings was totally wrong-footed, and it just has the strength to get over the line. Mick Mills with his first goal of the season. Ricks, that's a nicely hit ball, but Butcher is in quickly on Sunderland. And a free kick to Arsenal. Well, Arsenal coming forward, but once they get into the penalty area or just outside it, they haven't got much of a spark at the moment. But plenty of time for a different story to develop. With Willie Young at the back here, David O'Leary in front of him and Mead. And there's Willie Young leaping, but it was put away by Terry Butcher. Two balls in there at the moment. There's problems for the goalkeeper. There were two balls flying around, one hit from the corner and one thrown from the back. And luckily, Cooper picked the right one. Walk for Mariner. Tyson, Osman supporting. McCall is on the left-hand side. Out there is Muren. Hard ball to control, and he didn't get it right. Davis and Mead. Mead looking strong in possession. Alan Sunderland having a go at Steggles. Sunderland jinking well here. Good effort. That's a fine goal by Sunderland. Well, he showed him one side. He went that way, took it back the other. The gap had opened up, and Sunderland drilled it in. That was an excellent goal. But Kevin Steggles bought a dummy or two here. Go that way, check back the other, and now the target's opened up, and he drove it well. So Alan Sunderland, with his third goal of the season, puts Arsenal back in the game. Butcher, with his last foray forward, brought a goal just before the break, but Arsenal not such easy meat in midfield at the moment as Russell Osman whacks it away. Walk gets onto that one. Paul Mariner. Mariner 4 against 1 really there, and there's a battle and a kicking match between Mariner and Talbot, and Gates now is going to get past. Oh, that was brilliant stuff. Gates with no room whatsoever, playing against possibly the best centre-half in Europe, and he wriggles and turns and gets a shot in. But before that, there'd been a bit of kicking and pushing and shoving between Brian Talbot and Paul Mariner, but that's a lovely turn by Gates and a good shot. And it's Arsenal coming forward. Davis. And Russell Osman got in there, but Ipswich are conceding a lot in midfield and they're dropping back, and it's dangerous. Steggles doesn't get there. Ricks might get one here. And in by Raphael Mead. He's offside. Mead was clearly offside, but Ricks had the chance, surely, to have buried that one. I'm sure he intended the shot here as Steggles misses the cross. He's trying to chip it over the goalkeeper's head. Mead's onto it, but he's offside already.
Well, 2-1 the final score, and in fact one more goal for Ipswich would have taken them to the top of Division 1, but that honour richly deserved by Manchester United this weekend following their 2-1 win at Anfield. Well, for our final piece of action this afternoon, it's into the second division for Watford's home game with Norwich. Watford having a particularly good season, and one in which they've created quite a talking point with one of their free kick tactics. The commentator's Brian Moore. Norwich are in the striped shirts.
John Barnes just touching it on for Luther Bissett. Worked out by Holby. Wasn't a bad challenge, but it was a foul. For a moment, the flagging of the linesman indicated that he felt something else should be done about it, but certainly stopped the Watford player in his stride. And here's Pritchett with the free kick, floated there towards Ross Jenkins again. And Jackets picked the crossbar. Blissett puts it over. Well, Kenny Jackets came so close to giving Watford what at the moment would certainly be a deserved lead. Hit on the volley first time, against the crossbar with Woods beaten, and Blissett not causing any problems for the keeper after that. Barnes, Simmons, Barham. Down the line, said Mendham, and that's exactly where it went for him, but sadly for him and for Norwich, he was offside. Peter Mendham, who's had a little period playing in the summer in New Zealand with some success. In fact, brought a couple of New Zealand lads back with him who he thinks might make the grade. Jenkins. Blissett blasted over. The chances are still falling Watford's way, but still they can't really make any of them count. Blissett coming in quickly on this one after some good work by Jenkins, always on the up. Oh, brilliant save by Chris Woods. Callaghan showing that he's a lad with skill, and he's got determination as well, and quite a shot too, which called for an excellent save by Chris Woods. Simmons, the hands of Barnes, but the referee allowing that one to go quite rightly. Nice little cross there, and on the far side, and well, Mendham almost got there with the header, and it looked for a moment that Birchin might just get there to finish it off. And out of nowhere, Norwich very nearly fashioned a goal. A lovely piece of play here by Clive Woods. What a cross that was. Good jump by Mendham, and Birchin couldn't quite reach it. Birchin going in there and jumping at a player, maybe. A free kick given nonetheless. Barnes. Blissett shoved in the back by Holby. And the free kick already taken, leaving a bit of space here for Les Taylor. And now for Callaghan on the far side, with Bolton going up outside it. Here's Ian Bolton and a chance for Watford now. And a beautiful goal! Scored by Ian Bolton. And all coming from a free kick that was quickly taken and never really gave Norwich City a chance to get back into the game. Callaghan playing his part. What a run it was here by Ian Bolton, and a shot beating Woods at the near post. Pritchett. Barham. Five minutes of the first half to go. Watford have got the break they wanted. Barnes. Pritchett. This is on the far side. Sting will be a little annoyed that he didn't make that one count. It was a lovely cross in there. Flying there was Luther Blissett, but again just wide of that Norwich post. Certainly had more of the game, not Watford in the first half. They've been more aggressive, more skillful. They've carved the openings. Their finishing has left a certain amount to be desired at the moment. Only one up when it might have been two or three. Now it's Jenkins. Now it's Taylor. Now Blissett onside. Played in there and knocked away again by Watford, with Norwich yet again in defence all over the place. So Watford at the moment in a really rampant mood. And running in by Barnes. 2-0. And John Barnes, the 17-year-old, gets his 4th goal of the season with that little nod in from the far post. Flicked on there by Ross Jenkins, and a formality for the 17-year-old. 4 for Barnes. 9 and 4 for Bissett. Is this number 3? Not yet, it isn't. It's with Barnes. And now Taylor. And a free kick. Now, will Watford produce their famous free kick where they line up 2 walls? Because this is the ideal situation for it. Barnes is there also. It doesn't give the Norwich wall or the goalkeeper much of a chance. Barnes floating in against the post. And Bissett getting the ball in for the 3rd goal. And so the famous free kick strikes again, although not quite the way maybe that Norwich intended. Barnes floating it superbly against the crossbar, Bissett with the header, and Woods couldn't quite stop it.
We leave the last word this afternoon with Arthur Albiston, whose winning goal at Anfield yesterday put Manchester United onto the top of the First Division. Good afternoon.
Well, with only 2 minutes to go, it's not a bad time to score, and we knew that they wouldn't get another goal then, so not a bad time to score.
You seem to save your goals for the big occasions, don't you?
Well, I think the other one I scored against was Manchester City at home, so if I can save any more for big games, that'll do me, yeah.
Forward from Robson. Now Albiston. Played through by Stapleton. Here's Albiston, who rolls it past Grobbelaar.